Hello everybody on YouTube, it's Arjan again with WTF, Walk Talk Film. Again, Roman history. This topic is a small, brief explanation of how the Roman Empire turned from a republic into an empire governed by a sole ruler. Now, the Roman Republican army consisted basically of two kinds of people. Free farmers, so free Roman citizens that would have a plot of land somewhere and would work that. And the aristocracy, the rich people, they were usually cavalry, generals, they had positions like that. Now, why were they in the Roman army? Because they could afford their gear. They were rich enough to pay for a helmet and a spear and a sword. Now, we all remember the Second Punic War. Hannibal invades Roman territory, and he's responsible for thousands and thousands and thousands of dead soldiers. Now, many of these dead soldiers were free farmers. If a free farmer is dead, he cannot work his land. He usually leaves his land to his wife and children, and what happened was that many of these families couldn't take care of their land anymore. They would go bankrupt and they had to sell their land to... There was always a rich person around, an aristocrat that would buy land. So what you get is less farmers, less free farmers, and more landowners. Now these landowners, they wouldn't say, I just bought your land and if you want you can work your land. No, they would always go for slaves. So the people that would lose their farm were more or less unemployed, and they would go to a city, or they would live on the land as land plebs, more or less. So like I said, you have a decline in soldiers, or you have a decline in the places where you can find soldiers, free farmers. So there's another process, because after the Second Punic War, Rome does gain a lot of territory. They gain influence in Africa, they gain influence in Spain, and they even get influence in Athens. So less soldiers, but you need more soldiers. Now, they look at that for a while, and then about 100 years later, 100 BC, a Roman general named Marius decides to do something about the Roman army. He reshapes the Roman army tactically, but also in the recruitment way. He decides to levy soldiers from the plebs, not the town plebs, but the rural plebs. Now, the rural plebs, they have nothing. So they join the Roman army, but when a war is over, they don't return back to their farm. So, yeah, like I said, they don't have to fight for their farm, they don't have to fight for the Senate, and since they have nothing to lose, they might as well fight for the general. Now, it goes okay for just a couple of years, and indeed, there's a general named Sulla who decides to take his soldiers and go for power. Now, he could promise money, he could promise loot, but he could also promise land. But who had all the land? The rich landowners. And that explains why the aristocracy is not very happy with a sole ruler, because a sole ruler can do whatever he wants. But Sulla succeeds. He does assemble an army of people loyal to him. He marches to Rome, and he gains power. He stays sole ruler in Rome for about 2 years, and then he abdicates, which is quite kind of a weird decision. Anyway, he lives a couple of years and he dies naturally. But the trend was set. People knew at that time, okay, it is possible for one person to govern Rome. And a couple of years later, of course, you get Pompey, Caesar, Crassus, and slowly but surely the Roman Empire turns into an empire instead of a republic. Many people blame the generals that go for power, but the blame lies completely with the aristocracy. They were too greedy, wanted to keep all the land for themselves, and they're responsible for their own demise, I personally think. And so that's it. The answer to the question: a change in recruitment. You take usually you have farmers that fight for the Senate, less farmers, you have to go and look for other soldiers. You go for the plebs. The plebs have nothing to lose, and all you need is a general that is very nice to the plebs and makes nice promises, and gets them behind him, and he marches on Rome. So a nutshell version of a very complicated matter, but I hope I cleared up a bit. So I hope you enjoyed it, and until the next clip on Roman history.